Hello, everyone. So, this last few days, we're going to start talking about bills first. This particular dollar, if that 5 had been a 4, this would be a binary radar note. Binary notes and radar notes are actually pretty collectible, and people will pay more than what their face value is for them. I'm not sure how much a binary radar note would be worth, but I'm sure it's worth more than just a binary or a radar note by itself. As it is, it's a cool number, but not cool enough to really keep it. I mean, I might keep it for a while, but it's not gonna prove to be a valuable one. Now this is a $20 star note, and if you don't know what that means the little star there. It's a reprint. Unfortunately, this one's a very common reprint. Lots of them were made, so this is not a rare 20. However, if it had been one, the rare side, sometimes these star notes, if they're rare enough, can be worth quite a bit more than their face value. And you need to know that, because I've found 4 of them star note bills in the last month or so. And when I went by the 2 record stores in town, uh, both of them had a couple star notes. Both of them had a $5 star note and a couple $1 star notes, which was kind of cool. But I looked them up online. You just enter on your Google search star note lookup, and you enter in the series and then the serial number and the star, and then it tells you if it's common or if it's not very common. These are very common. Now, while I was at one record store, I've talked to them about wheat pennies for a while, and they know I like to collect them. So anytime they run over a wheat penny, like this 1951D, they save it back for me. Now, over the years, they have a little cup sitting on their counter that is a take a penny, leave a penny kind of thing. And I've left lots of pennies in it over the years, so they don't feel too, like they give it to me for nothing. I don't have to pay anything for it, which is kind of cool. Moving on to another topic. I got a few more dollar coins from the bank today. The one I'm looking for is always the 2000p, because if you get lucky and you find one, there's a wounded eagle die crack on these that makes it look like the eagle is speared. This ain't one, which is too bad. There's not a whole lot of them known. I think I looked it up the other day and it said there's maybe 100 of them known to exist, but it's the 2000p, and they made 700 million. So it's finding one's kind of like a wild goose chase. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you buy lotto tickets, don't buy a whole lot of them. Anyway, I bought a couple different ones to play. In this one, you need to get a bunch of diamonds to win. Won't know until I scratch these off. On this one, you need the money bag to win. I'll play them later and see what happens. But I don't have a whole lot more to talk about right now. But I am going to cover something real quick that I've noticed. All right, this particular coin is circulated a lot. It's a 1907 Barber half dollar from the New Orleans Mint. I put this up on my YouTube channel, and the video did well, like 2,500 views. And about a week ago, I'd just gotten this 1900 Orleans one, put the video up, and it did well too, somewhere in about the same range. Now, both of them are worn quite a bit, but it's kind of hard to find Barber half dollars that aren't worn out. And when you do, you usually have to pay more. These weren't really that much more than what most half dollars are. Now, this one, when I bought it, 1896, Orleans. See the 1896. Front looks like full rims. The back, not quite. If the back had been as nice as the front, we might be talking about a coin that would have been worth the $34, probably. But as it goes, we'll look at some other Barber half dollars. The 1898 says Wico, but it's worn out to the point where the Orleans mint's about gone on it. These are two Philadelphia ones. The 1899 has a pretty strong reverse and front, so it was a little bit more than this 98, which is in very similar condition. And the 99 might have been a lower mintage too, because some of these Barber halves have pretty low mintage numbers. But so I got those, and of course the 1900s next, and then we'll go ahead and show a few more of these. 1901 Orleans, and you can see the O on there. 1903 Orleans with a dent on the rim, and the back is quite worn. And then we have this 1906 half from Philadelphia that has a solid front and back rim. That's one of my better looking Barber halves, and it also has quite a bit of the details of the eye, ear, and even the lips still visible. And that usually makes these a little more expensive. Now this 1906 Orleans is pretty much a slick. But again, there's the Orleans. Now, I have this 1906 one, which is pretty close to full rims on both sides. It's a little bit nicer. Now, the question would be, is this 1907 one I just got better than this one? Well, it doesn't have the big ring ding on it like this one does. And the wear on the back seems worse on this one. So yeah, I'd say I did upgrade my collection slightly. I got a few more to show real quick. This is a 1907 S-Mint one. And if you haven't seen too many of these, the S-Mint's very, very clear on that. Now, the last few ones I have on this stack, 1906 where it's supposed to be. I'd say that 1906 is a lot better than that one. Because that's one thing you like to do when you get coins, is to improve your coin over what you had. Now, someone took and clipped off the edges of this holder. 1908. It's another Orleans one. So I've got quite a few Orleans Mint coins, including two of the 1909, which This one looks a little polished up. This one just looks like honest wear. This one will have a little bit better details left on it, even though it is sort of polished looking. The back isn't that great, but it is Orleans, and that's what I mean by not that great. It's kind of wearing away weird. This one, front's pretty solid. The back is not that bad, but it does have a little ding there, and part of the rim is going away. So I'd like to improve my 1909 to a better coin. Now, the reason why the price on this was higher than this is probably silver was higher when this one was bought than what it was when that one was. But anyway, that is my Orleans Mint coins from that are Barber coins, starting with the 1896. No 1897 one. And then from 98, we go up to 1900, 1901, 1902 is not here. 1903 is, but 4 and 5 isn't. I have 1906 Orleans, 1907, 1908, and 1909. So got a pretty good collection of Orleans Mint Barber half dollars. And for some reason, when I put videos of these on my YouTube channel, people watch them a lot. So I'm always on the lookout for more 19 or Barber half dollars Orleans Mint. And the quarters usually do pretty well too. So I'm working on filling up a box of half dollars and move some of this other stuff. And we'll kind of show you my half dollar box. Front to back. Last few in here, the last one actually is just a 2020 Denver one that looks pretty close to being uncirculated with just a few minor scratches. I'd say it would grade mint state. However, it's copper nickel. It's not one that's worth a whole lot, but it does have nice mint luster. One other thing I always like to tell people, when you buy coins in these holders, if the staples aren't smashed down and you're keeping them in a collector box, you probably should use a pair of pliers. Needle nose will work, and regular slip joint pliers will work. Any pliers will work. Just smash them down. Now, if you did not know, they started making San Francisco Mint proof coins that are 90% silver. And oftentimes they don't sell for any higher price than what the 64 Kennedy does. So get them at that kind of price. They're not too bad of a buy. Now in this box, I also have copper nickel proof like this one. So they're not all silver in this, but quite a few of them are. And some of them are even the 40% silver ones, which I think, let's see if I can find a couple of examples. 65 and 66, which at close and look at them, they're only slightly scratched. They're probably would grade mint state if it was worth grading them, but they really aren't, because they're not rare, put it that way. And then there's a 1969 proof, which S-Mint, which is also 40%. But it's only the last few coins that are modern proofs or or copper nickel proofs. That's the 64, and you can see, I'll put it back in the box, only these last few are 40% ones or copper nickel proofs. The rest of this is all 90% US silver coins, and there's Franklin's and 64 Kennedys and Walkers in this box, along with Barber, all the Barber hats I showed you. It's getting to be a pretty full box. I can fit probably 3 or 4 more in there before it gets super tight, maybe 5 tops. I can kind of slide my thumb in one end, but once you start packing these boxes so full of them, they get a little bit tighter and it gets harder to pull coins out. Again, this will show you how long ago I bought this one. $6.50. It's been a little while. Now again, I did not crush the staples on this. Can't emphasize that enough. Smash your staples down and you'll be happier that A, the staple doesn't scratch the coin or rip the plastic off, and then you got a holder that doesn't hardly hold the coin. And why someone put this one in this way and wrote that on the back, I don't know. This is a little bit better looking one than this one, though. I mean, when you start looking at the higher details on this, you can see some of the face. You can see some of the high details on this one. This isn't a bad looking walker. And you look down the eagle, can make out its eyes, its mouth, and some of its chest feathers, and some feathers on the legs. So this is probably, at the very least, an extra fine coin. But again, why they put it in this way, I don't know. We're going to go ahead and crush down these staples on this one. But it's easily a better coin than this one because you can see the midline on this is worn flat pretty much. So this is a better 35 coin here than this one is. And these were both bought a while ago, considering the price on the ticket, or not ticket, but the card. Any of these that are $6 or $7 would indicate I bought them a while back. And ones I bought more recently, let's put one out, like this 1920, $11, and it's worn kind of bad. But I did buy that one kind of recently. But one thing to remember about these, they had a few issues where the mint mark's on the front and not on the back. And if this was a lot better condition, this coin would be worth a lot more than what that price says. But it's not that common. The last Barber half in this is a 1915 San Francisco one, which is kind of neat. Now the 1914 and 15 Philadelphia, if I remember correctly, are kind of low mintages. Where's my red book? And we can have a look at the Barber half real quick. I'll just pull this down here and show you. 1914 Philadelphia Barber half dollars, 124,230, which is pretty low mintage for modern coins. And then look at the 1915 half dollar. 138,000. I also see the price on good 4 that they go up quite a bit when you get into some of the really low mintage ones. And at mint state, a lot of these Barber half dollars become $500 or higher. And the 1892 micro oil, if you can never find one of them, it's part of the 1892 Orleans mint one. Come on. Micro O. It's included in the 390, but at good 4, it's 2,500 compared to 300 for a good 4 Orleans mint one normally. Get over there to that mint state 63 on that one though. It's a $40,000 coin. So you have to respect the fact that a lot of these Barber coins were circulated for many, many years, and you're not going to find mint state ones very often, and especially not mint state 63 or higher. But there's several of them that are well over $1,000 at mint state 60. Of course, that one, the micro oil one, is the most valuable of the bunch. Although the 1904S at mint state 63 is 20,000, which is half what the 1892 micro oil one is at the same grade. But anyway, that's pretty much covering what I wanted to cover today. Again, I want to emphasize something, that you can get fake cases to make these look like they're real coins. This one's kind of a gold tone coin. There's no mint mark on it. It's not gold. And this thing's not really a real thing, because on any real grading company, you will not have a thumb latch that you can pull them open, because they're sealed solid. If they're not, then they're probably not worth anything. And this wasn't and isn't. And it does say professional coin display slab, which means nothing. It's just a slab to show the coin. And it's not even worth anything. So that's pretty much about all I got for you all tonight. I hope everyone has a good weekend, and maybe tomorrow I can pick up something other than what I have shown tonight, something different. Hoping to find some more foreign coins that are different. Maybe some from a country I've never bought from before, or just a bunch. This one, it's a little drab looking, but not worn very much. Probably be about an extra fine, but it's very dark. It's not really toning, I don't think. It's just dingy. This particular 42, though, someone put AU on it. And we'll look at the details together. And see there's almost no wear on the high spots. The little lines on the dress, slightly worn, but you can still make out quite a few of them. And her face, you can kind of see the little wreath on her head and stuff. And on the eagle on the back, you can make out most of the feathers. There's only slight wear on them. So whether or not it's AU or maybe it's more like choice extra fine, it's hard to say for sure. But it is a nice looking one. One of the better looking ones I have in this box. One of the better looking ones I have overall. But, and then when it comes to these Franklins, 675, This would probably be 10.50 if I went to buy it tomorrow. If someone was selling it, that's about the going rate on these right now. And JFKs are probably about 10.50. Although when I bought this one, it was only 7.75. But that's what happens with the rising and falling of the price of silver. These go up and down with the price of silver because the 64 Kennedys are very common and they're pretty much treated as stack coins. And that means there really isn't any of them that are super valuable. I mean, I think there's a DDO or something like that, but fairly rare. And you're probably not going to find one very easy. And if you do, good luck. Good for you. But I just don't think you're going to find very many of them. That's pretty much all I got tonight. Hope everyone has a good night. Um, and we will talk to you again maybe tomorrow night because that's all I got.